If you're here, it's because your intensity is both your gift and your burden. You feel everything deeper than others. See what they can't see. And you're drawn to transformation like water carved through stone over millennia. But that same depth that makes you magnetic can also trap you in obsessive cycles, compulsive behaviors, and trust issues that keep you isolated even when surrounded by people. This meditation is designed specifically for Scorpio Suns who are ready to transform their shadow patterns. The obsession, the emotional manipulation, the compulsive need to control, the fear of vulnerability, the all-or-nothing approach to love and power. These aren't flaws to fix. They're unintegrated gifts. And integration doesn't happen through thinking. It happens through feeling, through allowing, through alchemy. If you haven't watched the main Scorpio Sun video yet, I'll link it in the description and at the end. It breaks down exactly why these patterns exist and how they've been running your life. This meditation is where we transmute your emotional lead into gold. This is where obsession becomes wisdom, control becomes power, and intensity becomes magnetism. Before we begin, find a comfortable position, sitting or lying down. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. And remember, your intensity isn't something to tame, it's something to channel. Let's begin. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for 4 counts. And release it through your mouth. Again. Breathe in. Hold. Release. One more time. Breathe in. Hold. And let it go. Notice your body, where you're holding tension, your jaw from clenching, your chest from constricting your emotions, your stomach from keeping your feelings buried. You don't need to fix it, just notice it. Scorpio energy loves intensity. But right now, we're practicing sustainable depth. Breathe naturally now. Let your body find its own rhythm. You don't have to manage this process either. Your body knows how to release what it's been carrying. Trust it. Feel the intensity within you. Not as turbulence, but as sacred depths. This is your Pluto energy, your transformation power. It's not meant to flood everything in its path. It's meant to wash away what no longer serves you, revealing the treasures hidden beneath. Bring your awareness to your mind, the one that fixates on people until you know their deepest secrets, the one that replays conversations, analyzes every interaction, and searches for hidden meanings in everything. This mind has been trying to protect you. It believes that if it can figure out the truth behind everyone's mask, you'll never be betrayed again. It's not wrong. Your analytical intensity has kept you safe, but it's also keeping you trapped in mental loops. Right now, we're going to do something different. We're going to honor that obsessive intelligence while redirecting it toward freedom instead of prison. Silently or out loud, say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe from betrayal. Thank you for seeing what others hide. I honor your depth. But I don't need to consume everyone's darkness anymore." Now imagine that obsessive part of you as a younger version. Maybe a child who learned that being observant meant being loved, that catching secrets meant having power, that knowing everything meant never being surprised by abandonment. See that child and say, "You don't have to carry everyone's secrets anymore. You don't have to know everything to feel safe. Your worth isn't measured by what you can uncover." Breathe into that. Feel your mind beginning to rest. Not because you've stopped caring, but because you're choosing what deserves your intensity. Your obsessive nature becomes wisdom when it's aligned with purpose, not desperation. Your investigative mind becomes intuition when it's serving love, not control. Now bring your awareness to your heart, the part that closes off when people get too close, the part that tests, probes, and creates emotional puzzles that others can't solve, proving they'll leave eventually. Your trust issues aren't weaknesses, they're adaptations to betrayal. But they're also keeping you from the deep connections your soul craves. The cycle is exhausting. You want intimacy, but you also need proof they'll hurt you. So you create situations where they do. So right now, we're going to practice safe vulnerability. Not with anyone in your life, but with yourself. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, imagine releasing one emotional wall. Just one layer of protection you've been maintaining. You don't have to trust everyone. You don't have to be completely open. Just create space for one honest feeling. Breathe in again. And as you exhale, acknowledge one thing you've been afraid to feel. Maybe it's loneliness. Maybe it's hurt from long ago. Maybe it's a need you've been afraid to express. One more breath. One more layer of armor released. Your heart might resist this. It might say, "Trust leads to betrayal." That's okay. Acknowledge that fear and remind it, you're not surrendering your power. You're reclaiming your capacity for real connection. Notice the space that opens up when you stop building walls. That space is where intimacy lives. Not in the perfect control, but in the willingness to be known and still be accepted. Now bring your awareness to your relationships. How you unconsciously test people. How you create emotional drama to see who will stay. How you withhold affection until they prove their devotion. This behavior isn't malicious. It's protective. It's your way of ensuring people won't abandon you without a fight. But it's also creating exactly what you fear. Relationships based on performance rather than authentic connection. So right now, we're going to transform manipulation into magnetism. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine choosing transparency over testing. You can still see people's true nature. You just don't have to orchestrate situations to prove it. Breathe in again. And as you exhale, release the need to make people earn your love. Your worth isn't diminished when you give freely. In fact, that's when your Scorpio magic is most powerful. One more breath. One more choice toward authenticity over control. When you stop playing emotional games, you discover who truly belongs in your life. The right people will love your intensity without needing you to dim it. They'll appreciate your depth without needing you to be less complicated. Your power comes from being unapologetically yourself, not from making others jump through hoops to prove their loyalty. Now bring all of it together: the obsessive mind, the wounded heart, the complicated relationships. These aren't separate problems. They're one pattern, trying to keep you safe in a world that felt unsafe. But here's the truth your Scorpio Sun needs to hear. You were never the problem for being too intense. You were never wrong for seeing what others couldn't. You've been using your gifts to survive instead of to thrive. And now it's time to redirect them. The obsession becomes discerning wisdom. The trust wounds become empathetic depth. The manipulation transforms into magnetic authenticity. The fear of abandonment becomes the courage to love fully. Same energy, different expression. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, feel yourself shifting from victim to alchemist, from being controlled by your patterns to using them as tools for transformation. You don't have to change who you are to be worthy of love. You have to integrate who you are and trust that your intensity, when channeled consciously, is exactly what this world needs. Breathe into that truth. Let it become part of you, like water settling into its natural form, finding its path without force, moving with purpose rather than pushing against everything in its way. When you're ready, start to bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Take a deep breath, and when you're ready, open your eyes.